basics of cloud computing. Today we are going to talk about what is the architecture of Azure and what are the overall services available at a bigger picture with Azure. So we'll understand the components of Azure architecture, that is regions, availability zones, subscriptions, resource groups, and the services available with Azure. Like we have compute and networking, right? We have storage, we have identity and access management, we have security, etc. So first of all, how many types of Azure accounts you have? So first you have the Azure account pay as you go model, right? So in that account, you can spin up your resources for prediction and you can start using those resources. Then we have Azure free account. So Azure free account can be upgraded to Azure account. So Azure free account or the trial account is available for 30 days without any cost. So here there is a twist here. It is free or it is a trial account available for 30 days. You will get around $100 or $200 of balance depending upon your country. And if you use anything beyond that, or if you don't, if you use anything which is beyond the limit of free usage, you will get a bill or you need to pay for that, because when you will be creating the Azure account, you need to punch your credit card at the moment of creating the Azure account. And the same free account is upgraded into the Azure account. Then we have Azure free student account that is again limited to certain countries only. It is not available in each and every country, and you should prove that you are from the authorized university of that country. Then only you will be eligible for the Azure free student account. And then you have Microsoft Learn Sandbox account. So that is available on Microsoft Learn. And again, as it is a sandbox account, you will not have everything in that. You will have only predefined restrictions in that, a guided lab with some of the that is only 10 or 15% of the actual Azure what we are going to learn. So we'll be able to we'll see how to create an Azure free account maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, right? Uh, And if you are going through Microsoft Learn, over there you will have a sandbox account. So you can activate the sandbox temporarily for that session itself, whatever page you are going through where the lab is available in that Microsoft Learn. We can use PowerShell, we can shift to Bash over there, we can shift to Azure Interactive mode, and we can even navigate to the portal that is available in the sandbox. Now, if we talk about Azure architecture components, so then we'll understand Azure regions, region pairs, sovereign regions, availability zones, Azure data centers, Azure resources and resource groups. We'll understand subscriptions, management groups. We'll review the hierarchy of the resource groups, subscriptions, and management groups. So now region. So what is a region in Azure? So region is basically a location or a combination of multiple data centers which are located in a close proximity. For example, let's say we have a region called South India, or we have a region called Chennai, right? So depending upon the terminology, Microsoft or AWS convey in a different format. It can be Chennai, it can be South India. Generally, it is South India. You will not have different regions in South India. You will have one region in South India. It can be in Bangalore or it can be in Chennai. And that region, or let's say, for example, the region South India will have three or two or multiple data centers. It will have multiple data centers. Now, these data centers are closely located with each other same area, in the same area, but they are far away. So if one data center is down, another data center will be up and running. So they are in the close proximity. So it provides flexibility and scale up to reduce the customer latency. Apart from that, it helps us to preserve data residency within a comprehensive compliance offering. So let's say if organization they want to keep the data in India only. So in India, they will have an option of 2 to 3 regions, and each region will have multiple data centers. So for example, let's go to Google and preview the region understanding of Azure. So it is asking choose the right Azure region for you. So here you can see that here you can explore the globe. Let's explore the globe. So might it take some time. At present, I'm on having less bandwidth. Okay, it is loading. Let it load. Skip it. Yeah, we'll explore the globe. It is loading probably in the back end. Okay, so you can see this is the Azure Globe experience. If we come to Indian territory, so here we have our India, right? So you can see we have Central India and we have South India, two locations, and India South Central, and this is India, right? So these India South Central is coming up, whereas at present we have Central India and South India. South India is in Bangalore, whereas Central India is available in Mumbai, whereas India South Central is coming up in Hyderabad. Right, so here you can filter the regions if you want, right? So at present, what we'll do, we'll go through here, right? So you can see here I have selected my geography as India and it's showing nearby geographies, right? So you can see here we have regions in India, three regions: Central India, India South Central, and South India. So Indian location, Central is in India, is in Pune. So South Central is in Hyderabad, and this is not in Bangalore, it is in Chennai. So year opened. So Pune, that is Central India, and South India have launched in 2015. In Hyderabad, location is still in coming soon. It is not launched yet. Availability zones, here we have three, and here nearest region with zones coming so South India, South Central India. Right here, we don't have any availability zone. So what is availability zone? We'll talk in some time. Compliance that offers Azure compliance offerings. So now it is not necessary all the compliance should be same in each every territory because it depends upon the local government also to certain extent. So this is the Azure's proof of Azure security with third-party reports. They are ISO 27001 compliant, ISO 27018, SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3, FedRAMP, HITRUST, MTCS, IRAP, and ENS. So these are international bodies who authorize that they inspect their premises and they authorize that this organization is compliant with blah blah things. Now all these organizations are not same, they are separate. They are separate. I hope my voice is clear.
Yes, sir.
Right, so data residency, so the rest data is stored in the India itself. And disaster recovery, so disaster recovery is cross region options are available for data redundancy. So now it is not necessary all products will be available in all the regions, right? So if you want to see which products are available in this region, so I can click on this link. It will navigate me to another location. So you can see. So I have selected two of 45 selected regions. So at present it has selected India. So I can say Asia Pacific and I can say East India. It has selected India. Let's say I want to compare it with United States, sorry, United States, and I want to compare it with East US. And in India, I wanted to compare with Central India as well as South India. So now here you can see first is my Central India, second South India, and third is East US. Now, Azure Bot Service is a non-regional service. It is available everywhere. It is not dependent on any region. If any regional dependence service is there, it will be highlighted under Central India, South India, and East US. Now you can see Health Bot is not available in South India. Azure Cognitive Search is expected in quarter 4 of 2023. General availability still it is not launched. It is in purview. Right? Then we have Azure Machine Learning. It is available everywhere. Azure Cognitive Services is not available in South India. You can see, right? A lot of services are not available in South India. They are available in Central India itself, right? So here you can see Azure AI Studio. Here it is still not launched. It is in launching phase, coming soon phase. And you can see Data Explorer is again not available in South India, here in Central India and East US in launching phase. Data Factory V version 1 and Data Catalog is not available in India itself. It is not available in Central as well as South India. Right, so you can see the differentiation of the products available. So with this help, so let's say if I want to select another region, another country, right? Let's say we'll go to Poland, right? Poland Central, I'm comparing again. Right, so you can see Poland Central has also limitations. So you will not get all the services everywhere. Depending upon your region and country, you might have certain limitations. So still a lot of things are in the launching phase. Now in Central India, it is available. In South India, it is not available. But now if we talk about, so eventually if I'm an organization in India, I can opt for Central India. But what about an organization which is in Poland? So Poland is part of European territory. So in Europe, they have their own European law where it affirms that it can be anywhere in Europe. It doesn't have any country specific laws. But as India is a specific country, it doesn't come under any European territory. European or like that kind of territory. So they have their own specific law. India has their own specific law. So that's why they have their own data residential laws. Going back to the geography. So now here Asia Pacific we see. So we have East Asia, that is Hong Kong, and Southeast Asia we have Singapore. If we go to Australia, then we have Australia Central, Australia East, Australia South East. So Canberra, New South Wales, and Victoria. If we go to China, China is Shanghai. In Shanghai, they have two things, two data centers. One was launched in 2014, one in 2018. Then one they have in Beijing, another also in Beijing. Third is in Hebei, right? And if we scroll here, it is in Hebei. So these are the five data centers. If we go to Indonesia, again, Indonesia has not launched. Jakarta, it is coming soon. Japan, they have in Tokyo and Osaka. Korea, they have in Seoul. Malaysia, they have in Kuala Lumpur. Again, it is in the coming phase. New Zealand, Auckland, they have, but still in coming phase. So Microsoft has already starting where it says coming soon and the location is mentioned. So that means they have started working on it. They have initiated already the things, but still it is not completed. That's why it is in coming soon phase. Then Saudi Arabia, so it is also again coming phase. Taiwan, it is in coming phase and it is in Taipei. If we navigate to, let's say, I want to go to Europe. So in Europe, you can see we have a lot of countries available. If we go to Austria, it is coming soon in Vienna. Belgium, it is coming soon in Brussels. Denmark, coming soon in Copenhagen. Europe, it is available in Ireland since 2009 and in Netherlands since 2010. In Finland, it is again coming soon in Helsinki. France, it is already available in Paris since 2018. Germany, it is already launched in Frankfurt 2019. Greece, again, it is coming in Athens. Italy, it is available since 2023 only in Milan. Norway, again, it is available in Oslo since 2019. Poland, we already saw, it is launched in 2023 in Warsaw. Spain, it is coming soon in Madrid. Sweden, it is available in Gavle since 2021. Switzerland, it is available in Zurich since 2019. And in United Kingdom, it is available in London since 2016 and in Cardiff since 2016. In the similar manner, you can go through any specific country if you want to go through. Let's say if I go to United States. So you can see in United States, we have Brazil, Canada, Chile, Mexico, US, and Azure government. So Azure government is a community cloud which is available only for government that will understand in some scene. If I talk about United States, so Brazil, Canada, Chile, Mexico come under South America, and this is North America, United States. So basically, that is only referred as United States. So they have in Iowa, Virginia, they have two data centers, 2012 and 2014. Georgia is coming soon. Illinois is available since 2009. And if we scroll more, so you can see. Then in Texas, it is available since 2008, Wyoming 2016, California 2012, Washington 2007, and one more they have, that is Arizona, will launched in 2021. So we'll come back because this is information available on internet. You can go through at any point of time. So now we have availability zones. So you can see now Azure region is there. So region is a combination of your one or more data centers in close proximity, right? Now It is one or more data center. So each data center is termed as an availability zone. Each data center is termed as an availability zone, right? So availability zones provides, just a second. Yeah. So they provide protection against downtime due to data center failure. If my one data center fails, let's say this my one data center is there, it failed because of any reason. Still my another data center will be there to support that Azure region. So it will not have complete downtime. Let's say power failed in that data center region or any mishap happened in that data center, a burst out happened in electricity. So another data center will be around minimum 500 meters away, 500 meters to 5 kilometers it will be away. It will be in the same region, but the physical location will be different. Now physical separate data centers we have within the same region. Each data center is equipped with independent power, cooling, and networking. Right. So each, though it is near 500 meters away only, but it will have independent power, independent cooling, and independent networking. And they are internally, each data center is it's connected internally through private fiber network. So they are termed as availability zones. Now we have region pairs. So you can see a region pair is at least 300 miles of separate between region pairs. 300 miles, it will be different away. Now, what is the purpose of the pairing? So here you can see India South is paired with India Central. Brazil South is paired with South Central US. Now, East China is paired with North China. US East is paired with Central US. North Europe is paired with West Europe. Now, what is the purpose of pairing? So, pairing is useful when any one region is down itself. Any one region is down. So, in the same country, and the you should have another region to avail your resources. Now, automatic replication of some services are there. Some services are automatically replicated. You don't need to worry on that. So let's say if my we have deployed our region in Pune, right? And the South India, sorry, Central India, and that region went down. That region went down. So your data will be available automatically in the it will be accessed from the south region. You will not know that that region is down. It will be available on Microsoft website, but still you will have no impact on your data. Condition, if the data is posted in that format, that we'll understand when we are creating any storage. So it will ask how you want pairing. You want redundancy, you don't want redundancy. If you have not opted for redundancy, it will not be available. If you have opted for redundancy, it will be available. Redundancy in some services is free to some extent. In some services, it is upfront chargeable. So Microsoft will take care of that services. Now, prioritize region recovery in the event of outage. Updates are rolled out sequentially to minimize downtime. So Microsoft will not roll the updates to all the regions together. Let's say they want to roll out the updates in Indian territory, they will not roll out the updates together on both the regions. First, they will roll out updates in a single region in a single availability zone, that is in a single data center. In the single data center. So how that concept works of update rollouts we'll understand maybe in today's session or tomorrow's session. Then we have sovereign regions. So those are government regions. So they meet the security and compliance needs of the US federal laws or federal agencies, which is for state agency. local agency, or a federal agency, that is the country agency. So, and it will also match the compliance and security measures of the solution providers for these agencies. So this Azure cloud is separate, government cloud is separate, a separate instance of Azure, physically isolated from non-US government deployments. So whatever, let's say if we are going and buying any Azure cloud in the US, so that will be isolated from the government cloud. It is accessible only to screened authorized personnel. You need to prove that you are from the US government and you should have every documentation present. Then only you will be having access to the Azure government cloud, or else you will not get the access to the Azure government cloud. In the same way, we have Azure China, right? So Microsoft is China's first foreign public cloud service provider in compliance with government regulations. So the features of Azure China are physically separated instance of Azure Cloud operated by 21 ViaNet. All data stays within China to ensure compliance. Now we'll have a walkthrough of the global infrastructure, right? So here it is asking you can explore the globe. We can notice the different icons, geography, regions, points of presence, and so on. We can find our location in the globe, then find the nearest point of location and region to your location. So we have already seen that, right? Now, if we talk about Azure resources, so we have different categories of Azure resources. For example, we have virtual machines for compute usage. We have storage accounts for data store. We have virtual networks for networking. We have app services for serverless computing, or Azure functions. We have serverless computing. App services are if you want to deploy a website or any code, you can take the help of web services. Now, web services, sorry, app services. App services require some databases because your web application will store some data in a database format. So you require database services. So you have SQL database services in the cloud. Now we understood. Okay, so this is a very thumbnail view or a broad view of what services we have in the cloud. So these are termed as resources. So if I'm creating a storage account, or I'm creating a database, or I'm creating a virtual network, or I'm deploying or spinning up a virtual machine, that all are termed as resources. Now resources can't be deployed directly. They need a container to hold that resource, right? So that those are known as resource groups. So resource group is basically container to manage and aggregate your resources in a single bunch or a single unit. So resources can exist in only one resource group at a time. They can't be part of multiple resource groups. Resources can exist in different regions. So for example, I have created a resource group in the name of my resource group 1. Now I can have one virtual machine from my Pune location, one virtual machine from my Chennai location, one virtual machine from my US location also in the same resource group. It doesn't have any restriction of the location or the region. Resources can be moved to different resource groups from one resource group to another resource group, as well as applications can utilize multiple resource group at a single point of time. So let's say I have an application that can utilize multiple resource groups at a single point of time. Now we have Azure subscription, right? So when you create an Azure account, just a second, you create a Azure account that is your master account, then you can segregate it in different sections as billing boundaries, right? So and that Azure subscription provides you with authenticate and authorized access to Azure account billing boundary. you can generate separate billing reports and invoices for each subscription, right? You can have a separate billing account. You can access control boundary, so manage and control access to the resources that users can provision within the specific subscription. So for example, this my single subscription is there. In that, I'm having another subscription also in the same invoice section. Now it is associated with a single billing profile, and now this single billing profile is associated with billing account. Now this billing account is associated with a single subscription, right? So we can have in this format, in this single account, right? We can have different billing profiles. Each billing profile can have its own invoices and own payment methods, and each invoice section can have its multiple subscriptions. And in a single subscription, you can have multiple resource groups and multiple resources. Then we have management groups. So as we understood, we have resources. They are part of any resource group. Now resource group is part of any subscription, and subscription will be part of your management group. It can't be accessed without a management group. Any subscription should be part of the management group. In the same manner, any resource group should be part of the subscription or should be attached to a subscription. And in the same manner, resources should be part of a resource group. So management groups can include multiple Azure subscriptions, and subscriptions can inherit conditions applied to the management group. We can have 10,000 management groups, which is supported in a single directory. In a single directory, a management group tree can support up to 6 levels of depth. If you have created a management group, inside that management group, you can create another management group. Inside that, you can create a subscription. In that subscription, you can create a resource group, and in that resource group, you can deploy your resources. It can have 6 level depth of hierarchy. Now, I'm skipping this section because we are going to see this labs and the once we complete the fundamentals, then we'll be covering all the labs. So you can ignore this. Now it is asking to go through the services. So eventually we'll be going through the services. So today I'll be just giving a glimpse of these services. So under Azure Compute Services, we have on-demand computing services like disk, processors, memory, networking, operating system, etc. And these all can be accessed via different categories. You can't access a separate memory without any category. So memory can be consumed by container instances, your Azure virtual desktop, your virtual machines, etc. So we have category defined of these services. So primary category is Azure Compute. Under that, you have a service called virtual machine. And under that virtual machine, you can deploy multiple virtual machines. So a single virtual machine would have a disk, a processor, a memory, networking, operating system, etc. All this will be part of your single resource. Sorry, resources will be separate, so it will be a bunch of resources under one resource group. So my resource would be a virtual machine. So I'm not going in depth what is a virtual machine, right? So Azure virtual machines are software emulations, we know that, right? On physical computers, and it can include your virtual processor, virtual memory, virtual storage, virtual networking, etc. Infrastructure as a service offering that provides total control and customization to a virtual machine. So you can have spin up a virtual machine, deploy a operating system, and you have control over it to do everything. Right? Then you have virtual machine scale sets. So scale sets provide a load balanced opportunity to automatically scale the resources. So it is a automation method where it will help you to automatically scale your virtual machines if there is a load. beyond a agreed point of time. So scale out when resources need to increase and scale in when resources needs to lower. So let's say, for example, you have deployed a web server on a virtual machine. Now, at present, it has a normal load of 500 to 1000 users a day. Now, suddenly the load gets increased because of the festive season or because of any reason, loads get increased. Now, what you will do? You can't wait for that the resources are utilized and you will spin up another virtual machine, configure it, and then go ahead. Instead of you can keep the functioning ready, right? So whenever it is needed, it will automatically scale up. It will automatically scale up and it will automatically calculate the bill on the basis of the resources which are automatically provisioned. So we need to define the conditions. So we'll be going through that lab also. Then we have availability sets. So again, availability sets, we have fault domain, multiple fault domains. For example, fault domain 0, fault domain 1, fault domain 2. So fault domain is combination of your multiple servers in a single rack, right? So you can see here we have a single rack, rack 2, rack 1, rack 0. So this rack will have multiple servers. So this rack can be considered as a single fault domain. It is my single fault domain. And in the same manner, under a fault domain, we can have update domains. We can have update domains. You can see this is my update domain 1, this is my update domain 2, this is my update domain 3, and this in the virtual machine 6, which is part of fault domain 2, I am having update domain 1. So this is my update domain 1, right? And this is also my part of update domain 1. This is part of my update domain 4, update domain 5, right? So we can have multiple update domains in a single fault domain. Now, what is the purpose of this? So at a time, only a group of servers are updated, right? So let's say update domain means whatever update domain you have, update domain 1. For example, let's say you have 10 servers in that update domain 1. You have 20 racks, and from 10 racks, one server is part of update domain 1. From another 20 racks, from another 10 racks, another 10 servers, one server are part of your update domain 2. In the same manner, this sequence follows. Now, when you want to perform updations or patching, right? Patching means updating your servers. So you will select at present only one update domain. You will not update all the servers together in the single data center, right? You will first in the single data center, you will take update domains, so which are part of multiple fault domains. You will run patching. If it is successful, you will monitor it. If it has no challenges, no bugs, then only you will update another servers. And again, it will go in a sequential manner of update domains. You will select then update domain 2, then update domain 3, then update domain 4. It will go in this sequential format. Clear till now? Any doubts?
Clear, sir.
No,
Right,
sir.
so this, yes, Krishna.
No, sir. No doubts.
Okay. So then we have Azure Virtual Desktop. So it is a desktop and app virtualization utility or a service which runs in the cloud. So we can create a full desktop virtualization environment without having to run additional gateway servers. What's the benefit of it? It will help reduce the risk of resources being left behind, and we have true multi-session deployment. We have Azure Container Services. So containers are a lightweight virtualized environment that does not require any operating system management and can respond to any changes on demand. So Azure Container Instances, which is a platform as a service offering, it runs a container in Azure without the need to manage a virtual machine or any additional services. You don't need to worry about space. don't need to worry about memory, you don't need to worry about processing power, you don't need to worry about the operating system. Then we have Azure Kubernetes service, which is an orchestration automation service for containers only, with distributed architectures for large volume of containers. If you have a lot of containers and you want to automate a lot of things, you can make of AKS or the Azure Kubernetes service, and ACI Azure Container Instances can be executed. Then we have Azure Functions. So Azure Functions are event-based code running service which don't rely on any underlying infrastructure. It executes without any underlying infrastructure. Eventually, it has infrastructures, but it doesn't have the direct dependency. You don't need to worry about the underlying infrastructure. Microsoft is going to take care of that. Then we have Azure App Services. So it is a fully managed platform by Microsoft to help you to build, deploy, and scale any web applications or any APIs quickly. So it supports multiple languages. It will support your .NET, .NET Core, Node.js, Java, Python, PHP, Ruby, etc. A lot of coding languages are available. So when we'll be reviewing the app services, we'll see what coding platforms are available. We'll have a glimpse on it. Then Azure Networking, as the term says, Azure Virtual Network helps us to deploy Azure resources so that we can communicate those Azure resources with each other over the internet, over the on-premise, or within the cloud itself. So we can have public endpoints which are accessible from anywhere on the internet. We have private endpoints which are accessible only from your within your virtual network. Then we have virtual subnets segment your network to suit. We can segregate our cloud resources in different virtual subnets so they can't communicate with each other directly. If we want to provide communication, we can provide them for internal communication. Then we have network peering, which help us to connect our private networks directly together each other. So this is virtual networking services. We are going to see again these lab later on together. So what we will do for today, we will give a pause here. Or shall I continue for more 10 minutes theory part?
We'll pause it, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Krishna, your views?
Pass it, sir. It's enough for today. We will
Yeah.